This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, so we have seen what is sharding and how it is going to distribute the data and everything, right? So today we're going to do the configuration in practical. Tomorrow I'll finish the sharding with all possible issues that we face. Sharding has like little number of issues in terms of technology where the issues will be on the replica sets. See, if you look at the diagram, hmm, let me redraw it. It is last. So the main components are replica sets basically in the background. The things are logical here in this sharding model. You will have Mongo servers, right? Mongo servers and config servers. Actually, if you look at in reality, it is like this. Mongos will sit in middle and replica sets are here. This is what we're going to do now. So Mongoose, config servers, and the primary replica node, I'll call it a replica node, are equivalent to one shard. This is shard one. This is a shard two, and this is a second replica node one and two kind of. So now if we want to form the sharding, we need three replica three nodes for one replica, other three nodes for other replica, and config server also need to have its own replica, right? Sorry, it's not a config. This is what config servers need its own replica, and Mongoose is independent. These are independent. How many servers you can map with config server, that many Mongoose servers will be created. You just need to point it to the config servers. That's it. So Mongoose, what it does, it will keep refer the config servers for get the data address all the time. Whenever you are writing the data through Mongoose, even it is writing the data, it will go to the config server where this free space is there, in which server I can write, where the load balancing is going on. This will redirect where it has to write. So everything is going through the config servers, but ultimately data is sitting in the shards basically. So total, how many MongoD instances we need? 11 MongoD, 6, and here 3, total 9 and 11. 11 MongoD instances we need it. So this is going to go, a little bit lengthy configuration. Try to follow. I try to make it very simple. You don't find this in Google, like if you go to any YouTube, they don't talk about complete sharding configuration. Go and check. So just try to follow very carefully because you don't get this outside, this configuration, what I'm doing. So first I'll build a service account. Before that, what I'll do, I'll prepare it. So we are going to use 4 machines for our configuration. Okay. So config, config server replica first. We're going to call it as CRS or any name, replication name it is. See, we said this is a replica set, right? It's a replica set, its own replica set. This is its own replica set. This is also its own replica set. At the end, we are joining them logically. As a using Mongo, we add the shards using Mongo, but Mongoose will run using this config servers in the background. By reading the config data, it will run. It does not need a data directory. It just read the data from config servers all the time. That's how the architecture, you will follow it. I'll correlate with every configuration I'm going to do with the diagram. Okay. So now config servers, 3 config servers, we're going to configure on the Linux 01. And 2 Mongoose routers, I'm going to configure on Linux 02. Let's make it on the Linux 02. 27070, 27017, right? 27017 and 18. Okay. 2 data replicas we wanted. Then we can form the shard, right? So here 2 data replicas, 6 MongoD instances, and we need 2 shard nodes, right? These are the shard nodes we're going to make it. And here I'm going to use 3, and here I'm going to use 4. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to configure three config servers here on the Linux 01 for the config server, and the Linux 02, two Mongo servers we're going to configure. Single server, multiple instances. Only the port is changing it here, nothing else. We can run like that. So then I'm going to prepare the environment on this, guys, for this one. First, let's prepare 11 MongoDB instances, configurations, data directories, ownership, and everything. Let's prepare and come back to the configuration. Okay. I'm going to talk about step by step. You definitely understand it. Nothing much complex if you follow it. Anyway, so now if we see this gone actually, which is fine. So we have we created already, guys. Mongo R. If you guys remember, when I did replication, I configured Mongo R. Mongo R is owning the directory already, so I don't want to disturb that. Let's go with it. Mongo R belongs to SQLDB, and you own the directory of MongoDB. If you look at where LSFNL MongoDB, he own it Mongo R. Everywhere the case is same. We did it already this, so I quickly wanted to show this. You all need to know that service account should own the data directory and log directory. See, here also it is owning it. So then I'll quickly create everything in front of you so that you'll feel confident. So if you see, data directory is owned. And here on the fourth machine, I did not create the same account. That's a big problem. We don't have Mongo R user at the moment. I'm going to create quickly and take the ownership. Okay. So I'm going to go with the Ravinder. Okay. If I go to CD home, what are the users are there? We will find here in the home directory. So these are the users are there. Mongo R user is not there. So sudo user add Mongo R. Mongo R. Oh, before it I had to create the group actually. It seems SQLDB is already there. So let's see. It is a group. It is a group. SQLDB. We have it. Good enough. We have the group. So clear. I can use that group for the Mongo R. User sudo user add. Sudo is given because sudo only can create. Root only can create the rights. Admin. Sudo user add. Okay. Mongo R -g group is SQLDB mapping M. We discussed all of those basics anyway, right? LSF and L. Now Mongo R got created with SQLDB group assigned. Now I'm going to set the password to that user. Sudo passwd username is Mongo R. So I'm setting a password. Then we're done. Now what I have to do? Let's clear the screen, and I'm going to get the ownership on MongoD. If we have, oh, sorry, where LSFNL, do we have MongoD directory? We have it. So I'm going to change the directory permissions. CD ch1, right? Mongo R SQLDB group, and the folder is MongoDB. That's it. LSFNL. The ownership got changed. Now I have to look at etc as well. etc where etc MongoDB. Let's see who is owning it first. The simple thing we did many a times. If you practice many times, it is simple to understand anyway. We should understand. So MongoDB is owned by Mongo user. Okay, I'll change it to sudo ch1 mongo r sqldb mongodb. That's it. We got the ownership where we wanted. Now come to the directory direction. So here I'm using the Mongo R only into the machine. Here also I'll try to be log in with the Mongo user. I'll take it out this in the fourth machine. If required something I have to do through the admin, I'll connect one by one and do it if required. So Mongo R. Ask me questions when you have the question, when I'm doing it, right? So now I'm going to build data directories for each machine first. Okay, cd var mongo db. So now here I'll clean everything. I don't want to see anything what we have. So you feel comfortable that you know everything what we are doing. Okay. In every machine, I'll just clean up whatever the existing configuration. I don't care. Why? Because let's do it from the beginning so that you feel better. Here, nothing is there. Good enough. Don't run that command. Very dangerous unless until required. rm rf asterisk means everything comes from the current directory. Don't leave anything behind. Kind of. We have a lot of things here. Oh, owned by different people. Okay.
The
The
SQL DB,
directory.
SQL DB
Yeah.
is owned by two other users.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, if they got the rights on the directory, what group can do? Read and execute, but not write. Anyway, just let's. What I'll do? That's a good point anyway, what you said, Piran. So group should be given to appropriate people, not to all. I'll clean up the directory because those files are owned by someone. Though he's owning the directory, he cannot clean up because it is owned by someone. Linux, in terms of Linux permissions, Linux is very tight. Windows is not like that. You get the admin rights on particular folder. Though the folder is owned by someone, you can delete it. In Windows, story is different. Oh, come on, it's asking password, right? Gone, things are gone, right? Good enough. Now let's clear the screen. LSF and L, we don't have anything. So Linux 1, what purpose I wanted to use as per our discussion, Linux 1 config servers, right? So I'll prepare data and log directories here. mkdir mongo underscore let's see c1 config server 1 mongo for naming convention I'm keeping mongo c2 mongo c3. These are data directories. Okay, mongo underscore log1
C3,
mongo.
there is a typo.
Oh yeah, thank you, Gupin. So mongo log1 mongo log.
Mongo C3. You get C2 twice.
Oh, which I did not work up completely. Mongo L1, Mongo underscore L2. Let's call it as log one is not required. L1, L2, something like this. L3. Okay, and setup directory. One setup directory is also required. So that's all. So if you go to here, I'm going to run 3 Mongo servers here. So these are the data directories: Mongo C1, C2, C3, Mongo L1, L2, L3 log directories, and this setup directory where we're going to use this. And this is the directory structure we wanted to build. Next, this Linux 02, what we defined for this Mongos. So for Mongos, you don't need a data directory, only log directories. That's it. mkdir mongo underscore L1. I'll call it as L1. Just keep the name standard. L2. That's it. 2 directories are enough. Along with we need the setup. Setup is required. Setup directory. That's it. So we are done with this directory configuration here. Now here, what purpose we wanted to use this Linux 03? data one shard, right? One shard. So three machines we need, three MongoD. Here also make mkdir mongo underscore d1. Let's call it as a d1, data one kind of. Mongo underscore d2, mongo underscore d3, mongo log. Let's go with L1, L2 only. Mongo L2, mongo L3, and setup. These are the directories we wanted, right? So data directory, log directory, setup, enough. Let's go to third. Here also we need the same thing. Let's copy paste. I don't type again. pwd. Okay, I'm into the same directory. Good enough. We got the directory structure. Now let's do the setup configuration. Setups. So one by one, I'm going very in sequence so that easily you follow it, everything. Setups. So if you see, we don't have anything here. I'm going to download so quickly. Okay, like 4. Let's go with that 4.0. You follow absolutely same steps what I'm doing here so that you don't run into any issues. This is how I did it, and this is how things work for us. So follow very carefully here. So I'm going to duplicate in all servers in the setup directory. We don't have anything, right? Duplicate. I can transfer, but I guess my machine is, I have a good internet bandwidth. Okay, the net is not working. Then I'll transfer it. I'll restart the one machine. I have the sudo here. This machine is enough for me. Let me check once. Sudo. Just a minute. This firewall is up on the fourth one. Sudo systemctl. Status. Okay, disabled. Good enough. So no issues. So now I'm going to download here on this one. Service sudo. Sudo I cannot use it. I can use it from here. I'll do in one machine, transfer to all machines. Sudo service network restart. If it is not talking to Google, just run that one. Ping Google. Okay, we're getting response. So where I am right now, I'll download using this guy. I mean the service account. So pwd, we are here. Get and give the URL. That's it. It'll download. From here, I'll transfer to other servers. I don't need to download. I can download it there also. I can just need to restart the Ethernet and all. We'll just transfer it quickly. So simple, right? We know that. So now let me go on in each clear this CD setup. Where I am right now, already in setup. Right, we don't have anything in the setup. Okay, let's clear the screen. CD setup, PWD already in setup. Good enough. CD setup. Come on, LSFNL, we don't have anything. Now I'm going to transfer one by one quickly. So let's clear the screen. I'm on the directory where I am right now, where the file is in. So I don't need to give the directory. I can give it if at all you wanted. If at all I wanted complete absolute path, this is how you give it, right? And the target, I'm going to use Mongo or its own Mongo around. Mongo r @linux 01, okay, under var or mongodb under setup. That's it, right? I hit it. Yes, I wanted to connect and transfer the file. It's done. Next, let's go with the 2. Just wanted to connect. Understanding, right, everyone? We did this. All these exercises are already done. So let me know if you have any questions anywhere I'm doing it. Please raise your question. Right. So now we got the setup everywhere. See? Then tar -xvf and run that everywhere. So here also we got the setup, obviously. Tar -xvf. Okay, we got the file here also. Tar -xvf. And here also I'll do it. We have the file here, right? Tar -xvf. That's it. Now we got most of things, right? So what we wanted next? We wanted to run the binaries. So Mongo is not calling, okay? Because here also if you're trying to call, Mongo is not, is it calling? It's not calling. So now what I have to do, we know all this stuff again. These are all discussed parts. Everywhere the directory is absolutely same. We are not, this directory is absolutely same in all servers. Try to keep in the same thing, same directory, so it will be easy for you. Don't keep in a different servers because all are involved into one configuration ultimately, sharding configuration. So this directory is absolutely same in all servers. So I'll go to each server. Okay, let's clear the screen. cd etc profile d. This is where we need to just update quickly. So oh, come on, I cannot do this. I can do using only sudo. And one by one I'll do it because that file is not owned by Mongo R, right? etc profile d. If you see, this file is not owned by Mongo. You cannot do it. Sudo only can change it. Sudo vi mongodb sh. Right. So now I have to change the directory. That's it. Insert mode. I'll replace the directory. Already I copied that one. I'm just going to. Oh, come on, it's gone. All right, this is what we need to keep. This is over. So next, I'll do one another machine. Following, right, everyone?
if there was an error.
Oh, really?
It,
Oh,
there were been twice.
sorry. Oh, that's correct. Thank you, Biren. You're very attentive. Is it copied twice actually?
Rather than changing the path, can't we just make it Mongo R as an user and in place of root?
Mongo user? I
Mhm.
didn't catch. Can you come again, Biren?
Rather than changing this directory, can't we make Mongo R as a root?
We can make it. Yeah, we can do it actually. But service account should not hold the root permissions. That's the standard.
Mhm.
Only up to the directories. Because you have your own admin account. Admin account should manage it. Who is doing the damage? We need to know. Service account is a common account. Someone is
Okay.
logging and doing everything through the common account. We cannot find who is doing the damage.
Mhm.
That's the reason we keep the service account rights on the directories itself. Right. So if someone wanted to damage, he will damage it to service account. Who will get blamed? No one will get blamed. So that is very dangerous.
Mhm. Got it.
Right. So where are we? Is it cleared? Two, right?
Then number 3 now.
Number three. Okay. It seems it is updated. 4.20. Good enough. So now one by one I'll log off and log in. Now if you go and see, it won't get the binary yet. You have to log off and log in once when the things, because it'll read the file when it is loaded. So that is the reason you have to log off and log in once. What happened? Okay, it's not, it was just loading, I guess. Fine. Let's start the Mongo system. Now, let's talk about the config file now on each machine. So if I call Mongo version, let's see in each machine quickly, it is calling 4.20. It is loaded with profile, right? So here also you see it. You need to verify it is loading the binary or not. If not, you have to rectify that path. Oh, it's not loading here. Something wrong with 4 then. We did not do well there. Then what is something wrong? First, let me copy the. It's 21. It's 21 just anyway. I'll change it. Again, I have to log off and log in. This thing. Fine, it is loading. So now let's come to the config. Once we frame the config, then we are done to start the Mongos one by one quickly on each one. So cd etc mongo db, where we wanted to prepare the config. So we wanted to prepare 3 configs here. And let me remove if I have something already. I don't want the existing one. Let's clear it out. lsfnl. In the config file, we don't have anything. Let's pick up the config. So I kept all the configs. I'm going to send this. I'm going to send this. No need to worry about this. So here, config server. See, the system log, destination path, log append, process management fork, and storage DB path, replication and bind. We know all of this. We know replication, CRS, now everything. We know all of this. What we don't know is sharding. This is what we don't know. This is an extra tag for now. Sharding cluster role configure. It's a keyword. It's a keyword. You have to give it in the config. Then only it will act. It can be joined to a sharding cluster. Is a keyword configure. If it is data node, is the config server because I'm going to add this for the config servers only. If it is a data node, you have to use a shard SVR. If it is a data node, sharded data node, if it is config server, see, I'm building the config file for this server, not for this. If this server, the cluster role keyword is, the starting cluster role keyword is config SVR only. You cannot use any other thing. If that is missing, it cannot be as it cannot act like a config server. Config server has a special keyword you definitely have to mention in the config file so that it will be detected as a config server. Only this is what extra is basically. The rest are all same. We discussed all of this. So I'm adding this config file. Before I add it, I'll change the directories according to our structure. So what I'll do, if again, let's do it, not an issue. I'll change it and then one by one I'll come back. Where Mongo, I'll show it and do it so that you feel confident. Mongo underscore C1, Mongo underscore L1. That is what our log files. So data directory, Mongo underscore C1, right? Mongo underscore C1. And the port is 27017, which is fine. And directory is MongoDB, Mongo underscore L1. This is what our directory is. Okay. The rest all same, which is fine. So now I'm going to pick up this config file. I'm not enabling the security. If we take the security, it takes quite long. Only thing you have to do if it is enable security, authorization in security authorization enabled and key file. Everywhere keep the key file same. It will interact without issues that we see in the security. Sorry, in the replica set. I configured a key file in all 3 servers and it was talking seamlessly in the background. When you are talking yourself, you need to authenticate, but server to server, when it is exchanging the data in the background, it no need to give the password. Why? Because it's going through key file authentication that I was discussed. So we have a lot of servers to discuss. So that is why I'm skipping the security on this one because it takes quite a long to do this configuration. So now LSFL vi what do we call mongo c1.conf to keep easy is fine. Insert mode, shift insert. System log destination where MongoDB Mongo L1 looks good and where MongoDB Mongo C1 is looks good. 27017 and cluster role as config CR, right? All right. Next, I'll keep it 2. Okay. What is going to change here is only directory and port. Two things will change. Insert mode 27018 on the same machine, multiple instances. And here data directory is actually C2 and log directory L2, and this you can keep it C1 also, it works because the directory is different. Anyway, I'm changing it. Now save this. C3 next. 3 configs, right? Insert mode, shift insert, and here what we need to do, Mongo L3 here, and here C3, and here also C3. The port here is 27019. That's it. We prepared with the config. So let's do on the data nodes one by one. First, let's go to the var directory, lsfnl, mongo d1 and mongo underscore l1. So we have the config for data shard 1, shard 2, mongoose, everything I kept it separately. The same thing I'm trying to pick here. Var mongodb, what is that? Mongo underscore data d1. Mongo underscore d1. And here mongo underscore l1, mongo underscore l1. And here replication SRS1, the cluster role, this is something important. Shard SVR for data node. Here also data node, shard SVR. Wherever you wanted to keep, you wanted to make that replica as a data node, you had to keep this keyword. If not, it is not going to work. This cluster role is very, very important. If it is config SVR. If a data node, shard SVR. This must be there. If not, you're gone. And this is one replication set, this is another replica set. Replication name is also changing. Here also replication name change. Here also, because these three are different replicas. This one replica set, this another replica set, this another replica set. If you see, each one has a different name. Config SR replica set has a different name, and one first data set has different replication name. This also has a different replica set name. So now this config looks good for our configuration. Data 2, right? Yeah. So now I'll enter into etc.
Can you please go back before creating this one?
Yeah.
Okay, over here, Mongo underscore L1. And why we have a directory Mongo 1, Mongo1.log, it shouldn't be having Mongo underscore.
It can be anything. This is a dynamic. It will create on its own. It can be any name as long as the directory unique. Is this directory is unique? This file name, whatever you give it, it will create with that name automatically. It does not matter. Okay, if you wanted to match it, you can match it, but that's not necessarily to match. You just see, if I'm keeping the same directory for other server also, then there will be conflict with the name. For every server, log directory is going different directory. So name is same, remain same for every instance. There is no issue because in the background it is creating whatever the name you are giving it. It does not create any issue.
Okay.
Only this directory must be changed. Anyway, let's match it. So let's go to this, copy this. So we are into etc mongo vi. Let's call it as mongo d1.conf to keep it simple. Insert System log var MongoDB. This must be verified properly. MongoDB, Mongo data one, Mongo log. And the port is fine. Replica set and shard. Good enough. Port must be 27018. Directory D2. This one must be L2. So this can be L1, L2, whatever it is. It will build automatically because this is a different directory. There is no conflict. But for simplicity, if you wanted to follow naming convention, follow it. But that's not going to create the issue for us anyway. Insert mode and then shift insert. Oh, come on. Changed it. Just highlight it, it'll copy. That's what Linux.
D3.
So 3, right? Okay. Right. Let's repair on this one. Final one. Then we'll start. Mongoose will start at the end. Let's see the directory structure quickly. The same L1, L2, L3. So the same thing, I'll keep it here also. Mongo underscore D1. Mongo underscore L1. That's it. Wanted to match this, match it, else no issues. Anywhere do we see any issues? Looks good. Let's make it as Mongo D2. So just naming convention I'm giving it. Conf. Oh, come on. I kept that way. Okay, let's change it, guys. Come on, what did I do? I'll keep this one for 1 as it is. Let's change this one too. All right, let's start one by one now. We're done with the configs. Mongo d-f etc Mongo underscore c1 start. started successfully. C2. Wow, what happened? C2. Hmm. Just let's see. If we make some issues, it won't start. What is the issue we made here? The heck it said actually. We have the directory. Let's see the log. What is that problem? Link socket. Okay, this is a problem. That's a socket. Come on. CD temp TMP. There is a socket. It is not able to claim. The socket is owned by a Mongo user. I wanted to make it. I had to get into admin now. The socket is created by previous discussions that is owned by someone. So I need to clean that up or I'll take the ownership. Anything is fine. Temp. I'll clean that up. Sudo rm remove this. We need to get this level of troubleshooting. It is simple. The error is so clear to us. When we read the error, what it is saying, it is in directory tmp and Mongo operation not permanent. It is not. It is trying to create the same file with that socket. It is already there with someone is owning it. This is owning it, so it's not able to override this, right? Because it is owned by someone. So either you would have given the ownership or else I have cleaned up just to make it clear. So now, where did I run this command? Yeah. So it will start. See? So that's you have to look at the log all the time. What's going wrong? Then troubleshoot. 3 Mongo says we started. Okay. 3 Mongo servers we started. Here also data node. Let's start by one by one. That's it. Oh, we have MongoDB. Oh God, we have a lot of things here. Did not clean all others. Just a minute, guys. These are owned by our Mongo R only, right? Okay. Where I am right now. Just a minute. Where Mongo? The heck? What did I do? I did not build these files. Oh my God. I did not build in the etc. So what I can do? I can recover that situation quickly. Fine, good enough. cd where I build that the config directory also in the directory here, right? So I don't need these two. So what should I have to do? Move. Move is the command. Can I move all this one by one or else? Let's see. etc mongo. Here I'm moving it. We can do it. Is it possible to do twice? To come on, 2 and 3 also trying to do. It accepts. Okay, it is accepted. Good enough. Now etc mongo. We moved the config file from there to here. Good enough. Got it right? What I did, I moved the files. Nothing else. The heck? It has issue. S is missing. It is saying that system log destination is not unrecognized because S is missing. Vi mongo. Right. Is it the case with all? Let's read first before entering. Okay, it is there. Let me clear now. Things are clear. I mean, the S was missing on the first one. So Mongo D hyphen F, Mongo. If you confuse, let me know. It is giving. Oh, come on. What happened to two? That's not. The same thing could have happened, I guess. TMP. I feel so. The same issue here as well. So I have to get with admin again. Here I don't clean. I'll take the ownership. Either of that would work. Come on, it's dying. So previously I deleted. Now this case I don't do that. CD TMP. Right. Sudo chown and mongo r qldba and the file name. This kind of file basically. Oh, come on, I did give wrong. Mongo R. You see this? It got changed. Now, where are we on this one? The fourth one, right? Yeah. It was failing on second one. Oh, come on. I'm in the same directory. I'm not in the same directory. That is why it is not reading, which is fine. So I have to give the complete path if I'm not in the some directory. Why this message is coming? There is extra parameter I should have taken out, that small files true, basically. If you keep small files true, it does not take too much space for each one unnecessarily. It will save the space, but this is deprecated. You should not do that. It will create unnecessary performance issues actually. That's not the practice anymore as per the Microsoft recommendation. Anyway, I'm just started. I should have taken, but I have to go to every config file. It's not going to harm our configuration anyway. It is going to impact the performance. That's it. Clear. So PS, let's verify everything is running. Three. Okay, it is running because this I run from the same directory where it was there, which is fine. Clear. When you run things, just try to understand. That's where you get the knowledge. Right. So here things are running fine. Just final roundup. I'm just checking. Then I'll go with the config. Then let's enter into the shard and all. Right, we are done with all things, guys. Now I need to run the mongoose. Mongoose also need a config, right? So etc, first let's var mongodb, and what are the directories we have? Two directories I created intention. L1, L2, that's it, right? So here mongod config mongoose, where is mongoose? Here it is. System log, you only need a log, you don't need a data directory for this. That is the reason I created only log mongo underscore L1 or M1, what I have given L1, right? And let's call it as one only. So this goes system log directory you need. It is event directory. What is log actually? It's events. It is just writing the events in the log file, what's going on in the Mongo. It's not writing the data modifications and all. Writing the data modifications are going to journal that we discussed in detail. Mongo log is only the events what are generating. You are deleting a file, you're deleting your collection, you're creating a collection, you're dropping something, and your logins are failed, or your things are the health data is, somewhere something is going wrong. It will write in the log. Log is an evidence for us. It's all events, nothing else. And the process should run in the background, and it need a port. Let's go with the 187, and this need sharding config db, where we have the config db and the linux 01 only, which is correct. And what is the config? Let's match. This is very important. First, you created good enough, you have to initialize the replica set. One by one you have to initialize the replica set now on all, then we will shard it. It's a lot of work, of course. Example, if I try to run the mongoose now without replica set, with this configuring with replica set with config servers, it is not going to work. So I'll go to enter first Mongo, which is first config, rs.initiate. We know this. You just follow the last, you can easily understand. Initiate. I'm initiating on the first node. This will become a primary, other secondary and primary. Then I'll add rs.add the same machine, but the port is different. Only that you have to mention. Linux 01. Okay. Then 27018. It is a different MongoD. It is going to join. It is joined. OK means joined. You can see rs.status. You must configure the replica. I've written the note also, I feel. Right here. Before using the config servers in the Mongoose server configuration, we must initialize the replica set with config servers. Then only Mongoose servers will start successfully. First rs.initiate, rs.add, and everything I mentioned in detail. That is what I did. I connected on the first one, first initiate, then added, and then you see these roles now, primary and secondary. And third one, rs dot add linux 01 27019 27019. That's it. You got it. So now we can run the mongoose. This secondary, this is secondary, this is primary. We got the roles. Actually, this does not go to directly secondary. Startup 2, then synchronizing. There are 4-5 status it will show, because there is nothing, there is no much data to synchronize. Just quickly going to the secondary role. Generally, it will pass through certain stages, which is fine. Now we are ready to do the mongoose config. Let's come to this one. Don't confuse everything. We are going in the sequence. Right. So now I'll go to the etc directory. pwd cd etc mongo, and do we have anything here? I'll clean up if anything is there. why I'm cleaning up to talk right from the scratch. If I open the old one, modify it, and then you confuse all of that. So the reason behind it is mongoose.conf. Let's keep it mongoose1.conf. You can keep any number of mongoose instances. There is no limitation. So now destination mongoose mongo l1 fork true 27017. Right. This is config sharding is you're mentioning sharding. What you're calling? You're calling all the config server 27017, 27018, 27019. There. This is correct. And the replica of config servers is CRS. This must be matched. Config servers replica what we mentioned in the mongoose also you must mention that. Then only it will bind and it will configure. CRS is replica role name, and these are the server name and this is port name. The server name and port number. It should be correct. We don't have a data directory. We have only log directory and the config servers in it. That's how it is. We are in insert mode. System log destination looks good. Looks good. Fine. Right. Next, Mongoose 2. 2, 10, 10. You can configure any number of mongooses if you want, but we don't do anyway. Come on, S is gone. If you don't insert, you don't come into the insert mode and do that shift insert, that will be the problem. It creates. This is L2. Wanted to make it to 2, and this must be changed. That's it. The port. The rest is same. Everything is same. The log directory and the port. Nothing else. Let's start the mongoose now. If it giving any errors, we will see. Here, when we start the mongoose, not mongo d. That's what you have to call. Because you also have the mongoose binary also. When you go to here, have you building the cluster? Not yet. Not yet. We are on the way. Cluster is not yet built. Where we have set up Mongo bin. I wanted to show this. We are going to talk about all of this. So bsend dump will be covered in the backup restore. What is bsend dump? Where do we use? Install campus is a tool which we don't talk about. The campus tool we will talk. We said best tool. Mongo we know, Mongo D we know, Mongo dump we know, Mongo expert we know, Mongo files we will talk. Using Mongo files, we will manage the raw files, loading the video, loading the photos, loading any kind of file which is more than 16 MB. You have to deal with this one. I'm going to talk about, we have separate topic in the backup restore, or before or after I'll cover that part. We can deal with any kind of file which is something a video you cannot just insert, right? So non-editable data and the large data sets. How we can load into Mongo? This separate binaries created for non-interactive objects. Like you cannot modify the video. It's non-interactive object. PDFs, photos, scan docs. How you load into Mongo? There is separate procedure for that. So any kind of file, text data, any format it is taking, but any kind of non-editable objects, that also will see. And Mongo import we know. Oh, we did not talk about Mongo import. Mongo export, Mongo import will come in the backup restore. Mongo replay also in the backup restore. Mongo restore also in the backup restore. Mongoose we are talking about. Mongo top is something in the memory management I'm going to talk. Mongo stats also in the memory management. These are related to memory related commands. And these are all we know, all the binaries I'm going to talk about. Nothing will be left behind. You will come to know each binary importance in the background. Right now we are using the mongoose. Okay, where it is? 1, 2, 2 or 3, 2 on the right. Mongoose fnf etc mongoose 1 started. It is not started means the 99% of the issue is you did not configure the config servers into replica set. That is the main reason the mongoose will not come online. Other times it does not give any issues. If you have the config servers, whatever we mentioned in the config file, the replication enabled, initialized, this is what you forget. I clearly written the note. That is the reason. Most of the time people came back to me in the last batches also. That is the reason I kept a note here. Before you try to run the Mongo server, when you're using these servers, initiate the replica set. It's mandatory. It is mandatory. So you must do that. If not, it won't come online. Maybe this is also the same problem. Let's check. If not, we'll go in a different direction to troubleshoot. Really, the same thing. Come on, I have to go with admin again. Issues are very, like like the message is very clear in the log if you try to read the log most of the time. So that's what you need to know how to troubleshoot Mongo. I'll remove it, guys, taking the ownership instead of that. Anything is fine. Sudo chown mongo r, okay, sqldba, and they give this file name. That's it. Oh, come on, sorry, wrong password. Ah, shit, again. Just a minute. Means I have given the wrong password.
For SQL DBA. It should
Okay. That's correct. Right. Now the things are transferred. This guy can start. That's it. And now we are done this part, guys. If you see diagrammatically, this is done. This part is also done. This part is not done. We started it. We need to form the replica set here, here, and here. Let's do that. Okay. Mongo rs.initiate. We know known thing it is. rs.add. Machine name is Linux 03, right? Quotes Linux 03 27018 27018 added 19 added rs.status. If everything is good, then go for others. Secondary, primary, excellent. Then Mongo rs.initiate rs.add Linux 04. Is it 4 on right? Linux 04 and 27018. Done. 9. Done. rs.status. Secondary. Absolutely good. We are done with the configs. We are ready with the configs. Now I'm going to form the cluster group. How do I form? So there is something called when you enable the sharding and the mongoose. Let's connect to the mongoose and do the job. If you connect to the mongoose also you connect to Mongo binary only. It's not mongoose kind of. Server is running in the background with the mongoose, but when you are connecting, the shell is Mongo only. Now we connect it to the mongoose. See, mongoose. So now there is something called sh.status, rs.status kind of thing. You hear shard status. If you see what it is saying, it is saying that there are no shards right now. You did not add any shard servers into the configuration. It is saying that shards is blank. Active mongooses, it will detect in a while. It will active mongooses. It will show us 2 because we configured 2. Auto split. This is what I was talking about. Auto split enabled by default. If the chunk becomes 64 MB 0.200 KB, it will split automatically. And this balancer will check the number of chunks differences. If it sees, it will automatically transfer below 22. 20 to 84, above 80 it will be 8, the differences. So now what database are partitioned? By default there is a database called config. In the beginning of the Mongo discussion, I started talking about this. If you talk about admin is a completely users information, database information. Most of the information will go into admin. And if you talk about the config database, when we need the sharding, we need the config. We don't need the config other than that. And the local database, oplog.rs, all replication related things are going into the local database. Every database has its own importance. Temp is something does not have any importance except when you connect. By default, everybody loaded into temp database by default. That's the importance of it. Admin is holding all the system related information. Local database is required for the replica set configuration, and the config database is required for the sharding configuration. These are the important things you need to know. Now cluster group. Guru, you were asking the question, right? Now I'm forming the cluster. So how do I form? It's simple command you need to run, and all commands are included in the notepad. See, add shard srs1 linux 03, and this is a linux 04 in our case. That's it. The small command is going to form the shard cluster group. Right now we finished this part. This off portion we finished. What happened? It's not going back. This portion is completed into this one. We are going to join this also into the family. Okay, everything is going to into the, this is called a cluster group now when we join. So let's add it. I'm going to add srs1. It must be correct one. 3. Okay, this looks good. This is 4. Okay, that's all you have to do. You have to do it from the, see, add shard, run the below command from the Mongo server only. From there only, see how the config is binded with the Mongoose in the config. How Mongoose is going to bind the data directories with the command. That way, this is able to talk to config and data nodes both. This is a coordinator anyway at the end, talking to this and loading the metadata here. So now I'm going to run that shard. First command. Okay, I'm running the first shard, adding the first shard. So hit it. It went okay. Then if you want to really see that ss.status, is it really showing that shard group? Yes, it is showing the shard group. SRS1 shard, first shard is added successfully. You see it that, right? You added the shard group. Now I'm going to add another group. You guys following? If I run this command, yes, we are done with the cluster. This is the ultimate configuration I was looking for today. So now I'm adding the other shard group, SRS2 4 4 4. Good, fine. Come on, what happened? Error in the seed list SRS2. Roughly you can draw what you are configured on the Linux 02. Yes, that is what we did anyway. I'll tell you that. Where is the host? Linux 04 does not belong to replica set SRS2. The heck it is saying, really? I'll tell you just a minute. What happened to this? Wait, the heck it is saying? Just a minute. Something is wrong. Linux 04. The config is wrong. It seems, huh? Yeah, where it is wrong? Just find it out. Anything Linux SRS2. It is saying that that node is part of that SRS2. SRS2 primary. Okay. You see this Linux 04, Linux 04 27017 to Linux 04 27018. This is correct. What the heck it is saying then? Linux 0204. SRS, do you see any spelling mistakes quickly? LUNUX 0427. Anything you see guys here? I don't see any mistake. Anyway, what are you saying? Just let's quickly see. Okay, error message, seed list, add shard, seed list, host 18 does not belong to replica. This is complaining about this. Why the heck? What it is saying? Linux 07, Linux. It's saying it is a list. These are the list. Set name is is master to secondary false. Primary. I don't see any mistake in this command. Restore Linux LUNUX04 LUNUX 18171819. There is something missing. What is that missing part? What it is saying, set found host Linux 04 Linux 04. Going with the correct things only, right?
I think L capital and L small. Can you check?
That should not be an issue. It's not a case sensitive when it comes to this. Here also I went with the L capital lowercase only. Anyway, if that is a problem with it, let's do it. You're correct. It seems so. Let's do that. Let me verify this actually. Is it really that way? 3. Okay, it's a small L. It went with a small L. You're right, it seems. Small L here everywhere. But here I went with a capital L when I joined. It's not capital. Here it is capital. Here it is small. These two are capital. Does it really matters? Not sure. Great. That also matters means. What it said, no search. Oh, sorry, I have to do from here. It's a replica set. From the replica set, we cannot add it. It's a primary replica. You have to run from the mongoose. Come on again. If you highlight something, it will get copied. Come on, excellent. sh.status. We got the two shards. So diagrammatically, as Guru is asking, so here, this what we did here, Linux 01. This is a Linux 01 where we did every config server. Okay, this is Linux 02. If you talk it diagrammatically, and this is Linux 03. And this is Linux 04, right? So this configs we configured manually, except that the role sharding cluster role equal to config server, extra that only, nothing else. Here sharding cluster role is shard SVR, that is extra. All are same on these three. And then we joined it replica set. We joined replica set here and here. And when I start the Mongo, I use this config server in the config server to bind them internally. And when we are adding the shard, we are added the servers in through the mongoose. So it has this kind of this direction binding, this direction binding. So everything is binded through the mongoose now. Does that clear, Guru, for you? Is this what in Notepad I have written everything? No need to worry. This I have written. So if you see config server replicas 3 MongoD, the replication name is CRS, and then the Linux one, the port we are going to use this one. 2 mongoose routers, 2 mongooses where we are running, and the Linux 02, the port is this. 2 data replicas, 6 MongoD instances we wanted, First replica is going to Linux 03. These are the ports. Second replica is this is the one, and these are the ports. We have written mesh name also. This is what you're asking, I guess. Is this one you're asking? Groove. See guys, yes, so let's conclude this in these steps. What we have done. These are the steps we have done at the end. Configure the configure the config server replica set first. We did that. Then configure the mongoose using the replica servers init. This is also done. Configure the shard nodes with the replica set. We have done. Add the replica set as a shards in Mongo shell. This is we have done. Create the databases, and that's something I'll quickly see this. We have 10 minutes. I'll shard one database. We will see it. Else, let's start tomorrow itself. All talking right from the issues part. This is talking up to what? Adding shard, enable sharding, and create index, loading the data up to one sharded replica, it seems. We have 10 minutes. I'll utilize that then. Tomorrow, all issues. I'll finish this tomorrow. This is so simple technology. Very limited issues we have. Very limited. Where the issues actually issues are in the replica set. This is a replica set, this is a replica set, this is a replica set. If you are facing the issue, you face the issue the replica set. What are the issue? One node going out of sync and one replica set is down, or like something issues with the replica set, not with the sharding. Sharding is ultimately working on the replica sets. If you know the replica set issues, what we discussed in the last replica set configuration, 4 classes we spent on the replica. If you know all of that, sharding is simple. It is so simple. Underlying troubleshooting goes on the replica set. Why? Because this is down, the replica set problem. This is down, it's replica set issues. This is down, it's replica set issues. Sharding does not have too many issues. Issues are with the replica set. That is why we spend a lot of time on the replica set configurations and issues. A lot of things in replicas basically. Anyway, let's quickly add one database and do the things. Right? So we got what we wanted. Absolutely, we reached where we have to reach. See, active mongooses. How many mongoose servers we have? 2. How many shards we have? 2. It is clearly showing all of that. You keep adding the number of shards, it will just pick up the data automatically. But anyway, and if you see partition database only config is by default partition. It is shared data for the mongoose, but any database does not shard. So now I'm creating one database. Let's see in the background. This is what you have to very carefully pay attention today. Show DBs, 3 databases, CLS, show DBs. It will create on one of the shard, not on both first. We have all system database only here and here. I'll create one database using the mongoose. Okay. Use DBA database. DB dot first one record I'll insert just for the sake of discussion. DB dot test dot insert, then only database will be visible. That is the reason I'm inserting s number 1. Now go to show DBs. It will show that the DBA database, but physically where it is added, is it added to shard 1 or shard 2? Where on one shard first? It is not added here. It is added to this shard at DBA. It is not showing on this shard yet. It is created on one of the shard randomly. It does that way only. It is created this database here. It is physically, if you see on the local nodes, it is not there here. So now I wanted to partition that database, partition the collection, then it will display, not at that moment. So I intentionally, let's do this. I'll create one dummy data, sample data like this. Maybe I'll enter some more records. 40, maybe 50 records I'll enter, and then we'll talk. 41. I'll tell you just briefly, no need to worry. We will talk tomorrow all the issues. Today only the main focus was configuration. Give me a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes. We are done almost. 50 are enough. So I'm inserting 50 records in the same database or anything lab. Let's go with the anything, guys. Like if you wanted to create some other one, and the same one I'm going to load through Mongoose, where I am right now. I'm into DB. I'm just loading this. Inserted. Clear this. Sorry, clear. So show DBs. We have only DB only. We are in the DB database. Show collections. db.emp. I'll not use the pretty. Just to find. We have all the records. It. You have to see all. It means more. Load more. So total 50 objects we have. No, it more. See, when I'm reading, it won't read everything what you have in the collection. It will read particular segment of data. If you wanted to load some more, see, type it more for more load data. So it is loaded up to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 50. So total 50. At the end, it did not give it type it for more kind of, which means end of the file. So now, if I go to here physically, you don't have that. You don't have, you have the database here on the one of the shard DBA. So now come back to here. We created good enough. First, enable the sharding at database. Enable sharding lab, or in our case, DBA. And the Mongoose, everything from the Mongoose, absolutely from the Mongoose. So show DBs, sh dot, okay, shard enable. What is that command? What is it? Enable sharding. Okay. Just type it will come. Enable sharding. And which database we want it to enable? DBA. It's done. Now is it really enabled or not? sh.status. Very limited commands we have in this. You see the database partition database. Partition, these are databases. Partition to true. You see this? Partition to true, basically. Let's create one more database just to show the effect. Lab, maybe. Use, sorry, not use. db dot, maybe class dot insert. Just one record, just to make that database entry visible for us. So now show sh.status, and we'll verify physically where it is created. If you see, the lab database is also added to SRS2, and SRS2 means this. If you go and see in the background, you don't see the lab database, but you see the lab database here. It is created here. There is no much load right now. It is not doing the great job anyway. Lab and DB is added to secondary shard. It is telling that also. See, lab database is added to primary SRS2 and partitioned false, right? If you see the SRS2 and DB database is partitioned, it is enabled for sharding. Partitioned means. Now I'm going to enable the sharding on the collection level of the DBA. So 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. I'm going to close this. First, if you wanted to enable the sharding, you must have the index on it. It's mandatory to have it. So let's try to do it. db dot enable sharding, enable sharding and the collection or whatever. I just need to look at the command. Okay, so you created it, and db.test create index before this shard collection. Okay, database name, collection name, and keys direction. Okay, this way it is going. Okay, fine. So in our case, shard collection, it is a DBA EMP ID1. ID1 means we added the data, this ID1, ID2, and all that. If I'm trying to shard this collection as it is, it will throw the error. What is the error? Shard key must have the index. It's mandatory to have the index. DB. See, it is telling you that please create an index that starts with the proposed shard key before sharding the collection. This is where the actual things will come into picture. Range based or hash based. What index you are going to create? You're creating the index. Index is just a hash based, means hash you have to mention. Normal index means just one. See guys, when you're creating the index, db.createIndex, we know this concept, we discussed in detail, and that should be unique, so that unique is good actually. Creating the index is unique good so that no one can duplicate. If they're not duplicating, more efficient distribution can happen. But here, instead of this index, we will call it as index name hash instead of one. Let me show the syntax if at all. Give me 2 minutes. We're going to finish. I mean, we are on the last discussion anyway. Hash index creation. Just only the one tag is hash. We will use it on the instead of one. Here is see the hash. That's it. ID 1 we will use normal index. For this hash, that's it. You no need to do anything. It takes care if in the background equal writing into every node. If you mention 1, it will go with the range based, like it will write to one collection, one shard, and distribute the data in the background. If you are creating the index and mentioning hash, then it will equally write into all the servers. Only the one thing will change everything. That is what very important. And which shard key we are trying to form the shard on the collection using this id field, and this id field, are you having the normal index? Because you create a normal index, it will go with the range based. If you keep instead of one, you just keep hash. What I have to give when I'm creating the index, sorry, it's here, it's only one. Here I have to use hashed. That's it. It's going to make the complete difference. That's it. You keep it one or hashed when you are defining it, and add that field into the sharding. That is going to make the complete difference of the Mongo cluster action. Either one or shard is going to make a lot of difference to your cluster. That is based on the business model we talked about. If you need the read capacity more, go for the range based, and write capacity more, go for the what hash based sharding. So that is what you'll define when you are configuring it. Each collection, one collection can go to the range based sharding, one collection go to the hash based sharding. It is something, it's unique to the collection, not to the database, not to the server. One collection is going the hash based sharding, one collection going the range based sharding. One collection they are reading only, they are not writing too much. Another collection they're writing more, reading less. Both the combination, each collection is independent here, the declaration is independent. Following or not following? Say something. I better start tomorrow. I mean, enabling at sharding at collection level, data distribution. I have written all the scenarios anyway. I'll finish it off and then close the sharding tomorrow. Okay. We quickly create the index and quickly add the into the cluster, and we will manually divide the data into chunks, and chunks are migrating. We'll see in detail. Then you understand and realize. Okay. So the main topic for us today is this one, the configuration I mentioned. These are the steps. Till this point we have done. This is creating database from the Mongo shell and enable the sharding. This also we have done. Only this part is left. This is where our focus will be tomorrow completely. And you follow the same thing, guys. See, this kind of steps you go and see in the YouTube. You know, no one is configured, no one is covered complete sharding configuration in the YouTube. You go and check. Anyway, any questions before I stop?